Hey, welcome back to the Powder Shop. It's your boy Lil Slim coming at you at Lil Slim TV on YouTube. Welcome back to the Powder Shop. Happy to see you today. Well, here bringing you another sports update. Last night we had two preseason games. The first game was the Colts versus the Bengals, and the last game was the Bears versus the Chiefs. In the Colts versus the Bengals, the Colts won that game 27-14. Quarterback Anthony Richardson, he had a good game. He had a strong showing. Now, what I can say about Anthony Richardson is he's a big kid. He's versatile and he's dynamic. I can't wait till the season starts because I'm going to be following the Colts to keep up with Anthony Richardson, because if he wouldn't have got hurt last year, I think he would have took the Colts to the playoffs, right? So we go see what Anthony Richardson do this year for this year's upcoming season. We gonna see about the Colts, and then I want to move on to the Bears. Now, when we talk about the Bears, they beat the Chiefs in a preseason game. The Bears' preseason record is 4-0. Now, we all know preseason, it don't mean nothing when the regular season starts, right? We know that. The Chiefs' record is 0-3 in a preseason. The Chiefs are Super Bowl champions. So we can't really put we can't really put nothing on the preseason as far as trying to measure teams up to each other. You just can't you just can't do that because, like I said, everybody hasn't been evaluated yet. So we'll see. We know Caleb Williams, he did good. We know that he's ready for this upcoming season. We know that Caleb Williams is ready for the upcoming season. Chicago Bears fans, I can see the excitement. I can see the excitement that this young quarterback is going to bring to the Bears franchise. And before I leave off the Bears, I want to bring this up because we saw Brandon Marshall on social media, and I think the comment was he's going to be another Jay Cutler. Well, I seriously doubt that. I seriously doubt that Caleb Williams will be another Jay Cutler, because Caleb Williams is too much of an athletic athlete to be compared to Jay Cutler. Like, I don't even know where that comparison comes from. It really don't even make sense to me. So I don't know, what the deal was behind that comment. Caleb Williams is nothing close to what Jay Cutler was. So we ain't gonna even make that comparison, and I just think that was out of bounds. It didn't really make sense, So, with that being said, we gonna move around the NFL. Now, when we talk about the Miami Dolphins, we saw the quarterback Tua make some comments about one of his former head coaches, right? I think you all seen those comments. You know what I'm talking about, right? Now, the question is the coaching style from Flores. Do you think his coaching style was too hard on Tua? Because from what I'm hearing around the league, Tua made those statements about the coach, and it almost painted him in a bad light because he did call him a terrible person. Said the coach was a terrible person, right? But you have to ask yourself, this coach looking at you as a quarterback, the quarterback is seen as the leader of the team. So this coach want to know, is you built like that, Tua? Is you tough enough to call yourself our quarterback? Well, the answer to that question is it has to be yes, because obviously Tua is still the quarterback and that coach is gone out of Miami. So somebody believed in Tua. Somebody believed in Tua. And if that coach didn't believe in him, well, there was another coach that came right behind him and he did believe in him. And he brought out the best in Tua. So, for me, do I think Tua's comments was legit? That's a good question. Maybe they was. But then again, if you look at it from a different angle, you might see that the coach was just trying to push your buttons because he wanted to see how strong you were mentally. Because in the game of football, mental fortitude comes into play at a certain point of the game. So this coach, he wanted to see, as my quarterback, do you have the mental fortitude to deal with this high pressure situation that we in? So Tua making the bad person comments, I don't think it should have went that far as describing his character as a person. I think you should have just kept it football, and if you wanted to say, yeah, the guy coached me hard, he coaching too hard, he said some things that I didn't like, then, we could go for that. But to call a man a terrible person, the man, I'm pretty sure he has family out here, he may have sons, daughters, loved ones, people that love and respect him, so for you to call him a terrible person, that was kind of scathing, But anyway, when it comes to the Miami Dolphins, they bringing their team back. Tua's back. Tyreek Hill's gonna be there. Waddle's gonna be there. Raheem Mostert, he's gonna be there. And then on defense, you have Jalen Ramsey, and then you got Chubb at linebacker. So the Miami Dolphins, there's no doubt in my mind that they're going to be one of the most competitive teams in the NFL. But the question is, can they get to that Super Bowl and win it? That's the question. Tua, I can see that you're a good quarterback, but it seems like you play good against losing teams. And when it comes time for you to play a winning team, you're not stepping up. You're not stepping up to that challenge. Or maybe we shouldn't say you're not stepping up to the challenge. You just ain't winning those games. These are the games that you have to win, Tua, if you want to call yourself an NFL champion. So, I'm going to move on from Miami. Let's talk Baltimore Ravens. Now, when I talk about the Baltimore Ravens, you can't talk about Baltimore without bringing up Lamar Jackson, right? So yeah, I watch First Take, I watch ESPN, and I watch Stephen A. Smith and the rest of his people on there giving their opinions about this and about that. But seems like I'm way ahead of the curve, because I reported at least a week or two ahead of what First Take saying as far as Lamar having to get past Patrick Mahomes. I reported on that 2 weeks before First Take even came and even thought about comparing Lamar to Patrick Mahomes. And I've already said, Lamar, you won't be looked at as a legitimate champion until you beat Patrick Mahomes. Okay? And then now it's getting so serious. Patrick Mahomes has 3 Super Bowls under his belt. Lamar, you might not have to beat Patrick Mahomes once. You might have to beat him twice. He already has 3 Super Bowls. You don't have no Super Bowls, Lamar. You got to beat him at least once to get a Super Bowl. And if you calling yourself trying to compete with him, then you got to beat him in future Super Bowls to come. What I'm saying is that Mahomes look like he's ready for another Super Bowl this year. That's what I'm saying. So when ESPN and First Take come up with those comparisons, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, bro, I already called that. And I'm going to call a lot more shots before these big networks come on talking about what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I got to watch them. Because I don't know if they might try to, take my ideas and take them on TV. But the thing about me is, as a sports fan, I'm analyzing the game. I love the game of football. I played football myself from Pop Warner all the way up to high school. Now, when I got to high school playing football, I realized it wasn't for me. I was getting concussions. I had torn ACLs. This before they was putting a name on those injuries. I was getting these injuries, didn't know what they was. All I know is that I was hurt. I couldn't walk, for months. I couldn't walk right for months. And I know I was hurt. But anyway, I'm going to get back to football. I just was letting you know that, I'm not just a fan of football. I love the game of football. I didn't just study it and just talk about it. I played it. I didn't get to a high level of playing it, but I love the game. Anyway, I'm going to move on to Cincinnati. Now, Cincinnati lost in that preseason game last night against the Colts. But I just wanted to talk about the Bengals because Joe Burrow supposed to be coming back. Is he healthy? We'll see how healthy he is. But the Bengals, are only going to go as far as Joe Burrow takes them. With that being said, you can't fail to mention Jamar Chase. Now, Jamar Chase is up for another contract, and he's on the same team with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow got his contract money, so he good. My question is why is it taking so long for Jamar Chase to get his contract done? The season about to start, and he still doesn't have a contract in place. I still don't know if he NFL ready, meaning ready to hit the field. I don't know if he's been training. Maybe he's been training and working out. Fine, that's all fine and dandy. But I haven't seen him playing any preseason games. I haven't seen him getting that contact that he needs. You understand what I'm saying? So, with Joe Burrow being the face of the Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase played together at LSU. And I know it's not Joe Burrow call to make, but he can influence the situation. You see what I'm saying? I mean, Joe Burrow can walk up in the office and say, "Hey, we need Jamar. What's going on? We need him." So, another player can't talk for another player as far as contract negotiations go, but the franchise player, he does have an influence on the situation. And I just think Burrow is taking too long to come out and say, "Look, pay Jamar, I need him, let's go. Season about to start. We need him." So that remains to be seen what happens in Cincinnati with the Bengals and Jamar Chase. Moving on. Let's go to Pittsburgh. You have a quarterback situation going on in Pittsburgh where you have two flawed quarterbacks. You got Russell Wilson and you got Justin Fields. Russell Wilson is coming off a terrible season in Denver. Matter of fact, a terrible 2 seasons in Denver. He played a season before Sean Payton came there, and then he played under Sean Payton. Russell Wilson played so bad that the Denver Broncos paid him to leave. "We're going to pay you, just leave." Right? They got Bo Nix in the pocket now. Bo Nix back there. But I don't want to talk about Denver. I'm talking about Pittsburgh. So Russell Wilson, he come to Pittsburgh on a $1.2 million deal. Maybe there's some incentives in that. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of his deal. I ain't in his pockets like that. But anyway, he's still getting over $35 million from Denver. But Russell came on there, and the interviewer asked Russ a question, and what people is getting mad about Russell's demeanor. Okay? He's being too nonchalant and too, you're being too cool about the situation. Russ, what the Pittsburgh Steelers fan want to see from you is a sense of urgency. You understand what I'm saying? These people need to see a sense of urgency from you, and they're not seeing that. What they're seeing is a cool, calm, nonchalant guy who hasn't played well in his last 3 seasons. From the time you left Seattle to the time you got to Denver, all the way up to now, you're in Pittsburgh. You haven't been playing good. So Russ, we need you to get a sense of urgency. That's what Pittsburgh Steelers fans need from you. A sense of urgency, Russ. And the season's about to start. Justin Fields right there. We know Justin Fields can use his legs. We know that he can make a lot happen. And we know that the Steelers are going to dial up different plays to feature Justin Fields in. And then you can also throw him in at quarterback. And I also told you that you do need 2 star quarterbacks in today's league because injuries are running so rampant. So we'll see how that situation works out in Pittsburgh. But Russ, we need a stronger sense of urgency from you. We need a stronger sense of urgency. And my last topic is going to be the Jets. I'm going to New York and talk about the Jets. Now, when you talk about the Jets, you can't help but to talk about the elephant in the room, and that's Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is coming back off a torn ACL that he sustained last season on the fourth play of his first game starting for the Jets. His first game starting for the Jets, he tore his ACL on the fourth play of the game on a Monday night. I know y'all remember it because we all watched it. It was on a Monday night. They had all this build up for Aaron Rodgers coming to the Jets, and the Jets go do this, and the Jets go do this, and they got Sauce Gardner, and you know what I mean? Built up some real excitement for the Jets, and he tore his ACL. So now, he's back. Rodgers back. He's fully recovered. Everybody say that he shouldn't take any snaps in the preseason. Well, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%, that Aaron Rodgers shouldn't take no snaps. Why? Because he's a 40-year-old quarterback, been in the league 20 years, plus the Jets paying him a ton of money. They can't afford to lose him. They cannot afford to lose him. So Aaron Rodgers, we hope that you come back healthy, and we hope that you can complete this season, this upcoming season. And we'll see. We'll see what the outcome will be. But I want to welcome you guys back to the Powder Shop. Come back and check with me for your sports update, because I'm going to be giving it to you. And once again, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and welcome to the Powder Shop. Come back and holler at your boy Lil Slim. One.